solid 5, the Phantom Pain. Now we're going to get right to it. We're going to get to the bottom line on farming. We're going to dive into everything. Where's the best place to get your materials, the specific materials? How long? What's the quickest way to get it? And what's the best way to farm? Well, it depends on what kind of player you are and how you are. If you like to grind or you want a shortcut or whatever. So we're going to dive right in. Number 1, and I will put these numbers in the description and where you can do them. Number 1, the best place to get your fuel by the numbers based on red containers only. Red containers. Most people don't fool around with the white or the off-white because they're still as much as the red ones, but they give you a lot less. Fuel is 7,500 in red or 750, so it's a lot less, and it still costs you 10,000 GMP to Fulton extract it. So these numbers are based solely on red containers of these areas. So the best place, again, for your fuel resources is you have 2 choices, Skullface or Hellbound. Those are your 2 choices. You're both going to get, in Skullface, you're going to get 15,000 in fuel, and in Hellbound, you're going to get 15,000 in fuel. They're tied. The question then becomes the time. What's the shortest time? I have that answer for you as well. It is Skullface. So if you want fuel, go to Skullface, grab the 2 red containers. It's 15 grand, and get on out of there. And it's the shortest time. Because once you pass through the archway, hit the checkpoint, and you're all done. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, we're going to move right along here. Common metal. Common metal. The best place for you to get common metal is, again, it's a tie, Skullface or Hellbound. Both areas are going to net 15,000 and common metal. Red containers only. The shortest time to get your common metal is Skullface. Because right next to the 2 fuel, there's the 2 common. Boom. You get all 4, you can leave. So, best place to get your common metal is Skullface, 15,000. That's also the shortest time. Moving right along. Biological material. The best place to get your biological material is the war economy. That is mission 21. That is the best place to get your biological material. 15,000 is what you'll get on biological material. That is based on red containers only. Your best place for minor metal, again, it's a tie, Skullface or Hellbound. You're going to get 8 grand in minor metal. The shortest time is probably going to be Skullface, but not by much, because the first minor metal container is actually at the very beginning of Skullface at the guard post. And then it's the very last container in the last section of Skullface. So actually the time is really not, to me, Hellbound was faster because you got the minor metal in the cave. When I took the box and went from Sirach power plant to the outpost where Emmerich was, the minor metal was, when you ejected out of the box, was right around the corner where that sniper is on that little building where the radar tower was. So, and all in all, it's probably about the same time. You're still only going to net 8 grand. Okay, Now we got precious metal. One of the biggest and hardest to farm. It's also the longest to process. Your precious metal is going to be the war economy, of course. Everybody knew that because it's the 3 containers inside the hangar. It's 1,500 precious metal, red containers only. Okay, there is, however, some areas that have a lot more white containers in them, such as Hellbound. When you grab the 3 out of the cave, you're going to get precious metal, you're going to get fuel and minor metal right off the bat. Just don't grab the invoice, then leave. When you get to the outpost where you got Emmerich, there is going to be at least 3 fuel white containers. That's 750 apiece. So it's really up to you. But those are the legitimate numbers from all 3 farming areas. The war economy, Hellbound, and Skullface. Those are legitimate numbers. They're red containers only. Now, the other question is, what are the best or the regular ways to farm? That's a huge debate right now all over the internet. It's a huge debate. Whether you want to play without pulling out any tricks where you got to go in free roam, which is what the game allows you to do, or do you want to pick up all the containers and then play C2W 5 times, reset the whole area with containers and do it all over again and then keep doing it? Or the other debate is doing the USB trick with 2 USB thumb drives in your PS4, farming one time for probably quite a few days. You will have to farm your tail feathers off just like you would any normal game, and then you have to do it one time. Then you could keep loading your save data from your USB drive. That is the debate. The first one is, we'll break them down each one at a time. The very first one is, you farm legitimately. You farm all the containers, let's say in Skullface, and then you play C2W 5 times because it's the easiest. You get in the helicopter, you send it right to the hot LZ, you destroy the 3 dishes, and then you get out of the hot zone by never leaving the helicopter. Doing it 5 times. Well, that actually does do a good thing as well, because if you take a soldier that has survived the skull attacks and he has the Distinguished Cross, and you do it 5 times with that soldier, then you're doing 2 things. You're resetting the mission map, and you're upgrading that soldier to a higher level. After the 5th time, the 3rd time he gets the Distinguished Medal. After the 5th time and you go back to him, his level will have rised 1 level. So if he's an A++, when you go back, he'll be an S. Okay, but remember, they have to have the Distinguished Cross that shows that they've survived the skulls. Okay, that is the legitimate way, or you wait the allotted time for the map to reset itself, which is 5 missions. Okay, that is the first way. The second way is to, you know where you're going to farm. Hellbound, Mission 11, the War Economy, Mission 21, or Skullface, Mission 30. You know where you're going to farm. So the second way is you start in free roam and you land as close as you can. Now, Serac Power Plant, to start Hellbound, you have to run quite a distance. If you land at the top of the War Economy, there's 2 landing spots. One is right to the right of it, and one is to the bottom left of it. If you land at the top one, the when you then in free roam you select the mission, the box will appear about 16 meters from you. So it's a lot, it saves you a lot of running time. Then you can run in and do whatever you want to do. So you started in free roam, then you select mission 21, the war economy, or you went to free roam and you landed as close as you could to OKB0. Then when you land, you select the mission 21 or 30 or 11, whatever which one you're at. And you automatically go into that mission. You farm, you grab all of the stuff, you run out to a checkpoint, you hit the big black button in the middle, and you simply abort the mission after the last checkpoint. And you repeat that process. It used to be you farmed and you hit the checkpoint, you could refarm. But Konami has taken that away. You can no longer do that. So now you have to start in free roam. Okay, so you have that way. Then the third way of farming is a few people have used the USB trick, where you buy, or you already own, 2 USB drives. You stick them in your PS4 where your controllers are plugged in, and you have to do this offline. You farm your tail feathers off for quite a few days. Then you save that data. And then you bring up your game with your online data. You load your saved file into that, and it goes right into your online. And you only have to do that once. And every time you start running out of materials or GMP or tanks or whatever, it all gets uploaded again. So all you have to do is, instead of farming, is it takes you just a couple of minutes to do that. Okay? Now, the debate is which one's better, which one's safer, and which one has no consequences. You have to make up your own mind. I am not going to do that. I am not a savior. I am just a human being, and I am not here to judge. I respect every person's way and their choice that they'll make and how they're going to farm. But this video will end all debate on farming. You won't have to look on any other video on the best numbers to farm, where do you get all the best materials, and how long is it going to take. Okay? I'm going to put all that in the description of this video. I'm keeping this video under 15 minutes because I want people to watch this video, and I want them to know where the best places to get their material is. Again, I will break it down. Fuel, Skullface or Hellbound. Shortest time is Skullface, netting you 15,000. Red containers only on all of these. Common metal, the best place to get it is Skullface or Hellbound. Shortest time is Skullface, again netting you 15,000. Biological material, the best place is the war economy. The best time is also the war economy because the 2 containers are right there in the front, netting you 15,000 in those materials. Minor metal, best place to get it, Hellbound or Skullface, netting you 8,000. The time on both is about the same. Precious metal, the best place to get it is the war economy. That's also the best time. They're all 3 containers are in one hangar. That's netting you 1,500. So, the war economy for biological material and precious metal. So, if you're going to farm the war economy for precious metal and biological material, because you can get both at the same. And while you're there, grab the red container of the fuel. It's simple. And it's also the fastest run. You can get all those containers, all 6 of them, in less than 2 minutes. All 6 in less than 2 minutes. If you're wanting fuel, minor metal, or common metal, the best place to get it is Skullface or Hellbound. The quickest time for all three is going to be Skullface, because they're all in a straight line. Skullface is a one-way ticket. So there's your numbers. They will be in the description. Please like this video, subscribe. I appreciate all the comments I've been getting lately. They've been really positive, and I truly appreciate it. I really do. I hope that this settles the farming debate, where the best places are, the best way to farm, and the numbers. This is Big John. I went over my 15 minutes, but that's all right because I'm out.